Now, US President Joe Biden was in Israel for a key meet with Israeli Prime Minister and expressed US support to Israel amid the ongoing conflict. Biden spoke to Netanyahu on the current situation, expressing complete support from the US side to Israel and even announced a humanitarian assistance of $100 million to the strife-torn country.
US President Joe Biden visited Israel for a diplomatic scramble to prevent the war with Hamas from spiraling into an even larger conflict. Biden sat down for a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu soon after he arrived. The visit comes after hundreds of people were reported killed in an explosion at a Gaza Strip hospital on Tuesday. As Israel prepares for a potential ground invasion of Gaza in response to Hamas attacks on October 7, Netanyahu in a statement told Biden that Israel is ready.
Mr. President, you rightly said that Hamas is worse than ISIS. The German Chancellor, who visited here yesterday, said that Hamas were the new Nazis. You're both right. And just as the civilized world united to defeat the Nazis and united to defeat ISIS, the civilized world must unite to defeat Hamas. I can assure you, Mr. President, Israel is united to defeat Hamas. And we will defeat Hamas and remove this terrible threat from our lives. The forces of civilization will prevail for our sake, for your sake, for peace and security in our region and in the world. Mr. President, for the people of Israel, there's only one thing better than having a true friend like you standing with Israel, and that is having you standing in Israel. Your visit here is the first visit of an American president in Israel at a time of war. It is deeply, deeply moving. It speaks to the depth of your personal commitment to Israel. It speaks to the depth of your personal commitment to the future of the Jewish people and the one and only Jewish state. So I know I speak for all the people of Israel when I say, thank you, Mr. President.
Biden in return expressed complete support to Israel. Biden even said that it appears that Gaza hospital blast was done by the other team, not you.
I was deeply saddened and outraged by the explosion at the hospital in Gaza yesterday. And based on what I've seen, it appears as though it was done by the other team, not you. But there's a lot of people out there not sure. So we've got to overcome a lot of things.
In another briefing amid war, Biden urged Israelis not to be victimized by Hamas attacks.
The world watched then, it knew, and the world did nothing. We will not stand by and do nothing again. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. To those who are living in limbo, waiting desperately to learn the fate of a loved one, especially to families of the hostages, you're not alone. We're working with partners throughout the region, pursuing every avenue to bring home those who are being held captive by Hamas. I can't speak publicly about all the details, but let me assure you, for me, as the American president, there's no higher priority than the release and safe return of all these hostages.
Netanyahu thanked Biden for his constant support during such time. Biden even took time to meet war victims and first responders during his one-day visit. While Biden announced before wrapping up the visit that Israel has allowed aid to Gaza via jet corridor,
people of Gaza need food, water, medicine, shelter. Today I asked the Israeli cabinet, who I met with for some time this morning, to agree to the delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza, based on the understanding that there will be inspections and that the aid should go to civilians, not to Hamas. Israel agreed the humanitarian assistance can begin to move from Egypt to Gaza. But let me be clear, if Hamas diverts or steals the assistance, they will have demonstrated once again that they have no concern for the welfare of the Palestinian people. And it will end. As a practical matter, it will stop the international community from being able to provide this aid.
Israel made it very clear that it won't allow any humanitarian aid via Israel-Gaza border until and unless Hamas releases hostages. On humanitarian grounds, Biden has also announced relief aid of worth $100 million for civilians in Gaza. Biden was originally scheduled to visit Jordan as well, but his meetings with Arab leaders were called off as he was leaving Washington. An explosion that killed hundreds in a Gaza Strip hospital has fueled the outrage to the Middle East, making it more challenging to hold the conflict from spreading further in the region. Agency Report, Republic TV.